Hello again everybody and welcome back to Il-2 Sturmovik Cliffs of Dover. We're picking up right where we left off last time out over the English Channel. And I'm flying well, if you're watching this, you probably know that I'm flying a series, kind of like a little test flight series, where I'm figuring out how to use the BF-109K4 in DCS. And this is, I chose the E4 in Cliffs of Dover because the engine controls are virtually identical. All the prop pitch is done automatically, as we can see Dover out there. Commander barking at me to stay in formation. Sorry about that. It's assuming that he's talking to me. Not much I can do about it, but little differences. Like the undercarriage controls are right there, but in the K4 they're over here. You have buttons. Let's see what else we can do. Okay, fuel cock. This is in the K4 over on the throttle controls, I think, and it's up there. Engine kill switch, and a lot of it's going to take some getting used to, because a lot of the stuff that you can do in DCS you can't really do here. It's just either by key combination, like the engine or the electrical kill switch right there, or it just isn't modeled. And that's not to say that this is inferiorly modeled. This is still just remarkable, the options that we get for the cockpit interaction here. I thought I had some, I can. Well, they just went out of sight, but I had some contacts out there over the coast, and the aircraft visibility in the sim is just amazing too. How far out you can see things and how far out you can identify what they are, so I'm definitely enjoying it. Okay, trim for horizontal stabilizer. I have it mapped to a throttle, but it's just done by this wheel right here. So I've got the flaps wheel and I've got the stabilizer trim wheel. I've got the indicator, so I'm minus 2 degrees on, or 2 units. That might actually be degrees, or it might just be a just an arbitrary unit. But well, okay, so that's that. The tooltip is telling me I'm at 0, but the indicator itself is telling me I'm at minus 2. So that's probably minus 2 is probably like the normal startup, or the default, and then it just goes from there. Okay, enemy group in sector 015 is now at 200 meters, so I wanted to go to the map and see where these guys were. Okay, so it'll be 015, so those guys are out there over Hawking, right out here. Then P16, those are back there over the coast where we're just coming from, at then 015, again over Hawking. Okay, so let's think about getting this aircraft recovered. Now, landing, I think, well, I wish I had written this one down, but I think it was 2,000 RPM for landing. It's not going to matter since the RPM is automatically controlled anyway, so I don't really need to worry about any kind of power setting other than flying a good airspeed here. And come to think of it, I'm looking at my cheat sheet that I had, and I don't even have the approach airspeed. I'm going to assume 200 kilometers per hour on the approach, and then maybe 170, 180-ish for the touchdown speed as I'm looking out there over the coast. And there's a perfectly good-looking field right there. I'll take you, whatever you are. So let me see which one that is. That's Clog or Oyaplog? Possibly. It doesn't matter. I'll take it, whatever it is. Actually, no. I'm actually way. Because is this? No, this is Calais right here. That's Calais. Okay. I've got it. So Calais, I'll go for Calais Mark right there, which is should be right out here. Yeah, right there. That'll be it. I can see I couldn't see it distinctly, but I could see exactly where that must have been it. It was just a little green patch out there. And I have this one, which is, I'm going to butcher these French names, forgive me, but Sokel, right there. Actually, let me line up on that one. We'll go for it. The bird in the hand is better than the alternative. So I'll circle around and I'll land in the opposite direction, heading back out to the water. Got no sign of my flight, but that's okay. That's what this is all about, is figuring out how to use them. Okay, so let's see. We go trim. Nose down a little bit, since I've got my nose pointed down, and I'm actually bleeding off speed a little bit more. I think you bleed off speed a little bit more readily in Cliffs of Dover than you do in DCS. Not that one or the other is, and I'm not going to get into that, which one is more correct. I mean, that's an argument that you're just never going to win, is saying that the flight model or the systems modeling in one of these or the other is more correct than the other. It's, as long as it's consistent from aircraft to aircraft and whatever sim you're flying, like the BF-109 should, handle consistently compared to like a BF-110 in the same sim, to compare how one thing handles and behaves in one sim to how it handles and behaves in another sim is the never-ending circular argument that nobody's ever going to win. So consistency is all that really matters within a simulation. Consistency within a simulation is what I'm getting at. Okay, heading due south. Okay, how am I looking here? Below 300, I believe I can go... let me go gear down. I can't remember. I know 250. Yeah, I'm slow enough I can go gear down. And I'm going to be looking for... Are these the gear indicators? No, those are gun system controls. Oh yeah, there we go. Ein and Aus. So I'm looking for the 2 green once they're down and locked, I believe. That's taking quite a lot longer than I thought it would. Did I miss something here? Was I supposed to do something different? Let me go external real quick, and yeah, I apparently did miss something here. Okay, let me go like that. Okay, that feels a lot better. Okay, 2 green. Okay, gear down and locked. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. I'll have to see if I... Yeah, what I was looking at right there was whether or not I needed to leave it like that or if I needed to return it to the neutral position. I'll just leave it there for now. It might end up that I do need to return the gear to the neutral position. I'm just going to circle here as I get the flaps down. Actually, let me back off a second and make sure that I'm flying the aircraft here. Okay, 200 kilometers per hour. Got some buffet. Let me go trim nose up. Yeah, before I start to do too much, I just need to make sure that I have positive control of the aircraft. Okay, I got some stuff requesting permission to land. Let me try that. Let me go. I don't think it's really going to matter. 7. It's not going to matter because I don't even know what base I'm supposed to go to. But I know that I can do it there, and when I'm actually taking off from a base and I know where I took off from, then I'll be able to do all that stuff. So, okay. 200, circling. Let's go flaps down. Can I... Yeah, I'm just keeping my mouse wheel held. And yeah, as long as I keep the mouse, or the mouse button held, I can continue to look around. So let me... Okay, more drag, so I'm losing speed. And I'm flying with my left hand. I've got my mouse held with my right hand, so I don't really have another hand I can pull around to my throttle right now, but that's fine. That's actually exactly how it would work in the real aircraft. Is if I wanted to make throttle controls right now, I would just have to, quit doing the flaps. But yeah, everything worked out there just fine. Now, okay, 170, this is a good approach speed, I think. It feels good. It might not be the briefed or the by-the-book approach speed, but I'll take this. I've got an aircraft down there taxiing, it looks like. No, that's a hut. No, that is an aircraft, isn't it? It's a 109 down there, yeah. Very good. So maybe this was a field I was supposed to go to. Okay, so let me just keep it in here. It's flying very, very smoothly. I don't think I'm on the edge of a stall or anything, so I could take it. I'm just going to take it straight down, and just once I'm over the threshold, I might even wait a little bit before I pull the throttle in just to make sure that I'm not flaring too high, which is the mistake that I usually make in a sim, is misjudging how high I am off the ground. Okay, so that should be just a couple of, maybe a meter or so. Throttle in. Down. Just maintaining track with the rudder. Tail wheel. Lock it. I didn't lock the tail wheel. No, the tail wheel was locked, but I just ground looped it. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. I'll take it. It started pulling. I don't know. Maybe I pulled the throttle back in too far, and I didn't have enough airflow remaining over the rudder off the prop to give the rudder a little bit of extra authority there. Although I could have probably done it with some differential braking as well. Maintained a better track. So let me see how this thing taxis, and I'll back taxi to wherever I saw the. I can just go straight across the field, can't I? Okay, so I know in DCS. Okay, let's get it going, and let's tap the brake in the direction we want to go. Now, my tail wheel is locked right now. Let me map that real quick, or no, I've already mapped it, haven't I? Okay, apparently not. I'll be right back. Let me see if I can map this. Well, I found one that said tail skid, lock and unlock. That's not, I don't believe, what I was looking for, however. But yeah, anyway, what I was getting at was that if my tail wheel was locked, it would have helped me to keep aligned down the runway on the rollout. That may or may not have been a factor. I might have just used poor technique altogether, but by having the tail wheel unlocked as well, which I think is, at this point, just based on the response that I'm getting out of the differential braking, going left and right, like it is right now, I think the tail wheel is unlocked. And I just couldn't figure out a way to lock it, but I don't think it's really going to matter. And I'm taxiing through a big depression in the airfield. Maybe this wasn't the type of open field that I was kind of expecting. Maybe I was supposed to stick on a established taxiway, but I saw some 109s out here, and that's where I'm going to taxi to and shut the aircraft down at. In either case, so I think I'll just skip ahead to that point. I'll be right back. And it looks like I have a member of my flight out here landing. I don't know if that was a coincidence or if that's even really a member of my flight, or if it's just a coincidence that I happen to land on the same field as those guys. So I'm just going to take it over here to the left. And to taxi, I don't know if I mentioned this back when I was on the runway or not, but I'm just tapping lightly as lightly as I can, the brake in the direction that I want to travel. So I've got differential braking, so I have mapped to my rudder pedal itself. If I push down on the pedal, it's going to take me to the left. If I push down on the right pedal, it's going to take me to the right. So let me just make sure I don't run into anything here. And there you go. And it's, if you have the engine run down, it naturally tends to pull to the right, and the trick to counter that is just to throw in some, just hit the engine real quick, throw in some throttle, and it'll start to come around into the direction you want it to go. I came in a little bit crooked in comparison to the rest of the flight there, but that's okay. That's just fine. Okay, so I've got the throttle pulled all the way back. Now, let me see, for a shutdown here, I'm going to have to have my iPad handy to do this in the future. But let's see what all we want to do here. I know that, well, from here, okay, let me just go ahead and close the fuel cock. I know that's going to do the trick for me and get it shut down. That's what I was looking for, was the magnetos. So oddly enough, I'm not to that point in the BF-109K4 test flight in DCS to know exactly how you shut down a VF-109 in the correct order. Not that it really matters, but that did the trick. Okay, fuel cock off. Then I went down on the magnetos. Do I have fuel pump controls here? I know that in the K you have them over here by the throttle. In the E, Have a hand pump right there, undercarriage, undercarriage emergency system, normal undercarriage controls. But yeah, in either case, I'll take it. That's all I really want to get to. I can get into more detail later. Now let's go ahead and open up the canopy and breathe the fresh air. So that's it for this mission. I want to do something similar, maybe one, maybe two more times before I really get into the campaign. But yeah, this is what I was looking for, just familiarization with the aircraft so that I know somewhat about what I'm doing, that I've got the communications controls figured out, I know how to run the engines and how to not have it overheat, which I feel like I was kind of lucky that it didn't. I kind of stopped watching my temperatures as I was coming back to base. I need to just get into a habit and keep a scan going down there, watching those temperatures and make sure that I don't overheat it. And I, at some point, need to figure out, yeah, I was kind of lost in the interface when it came to getting a bomb onto the aircraft, and I'll figure out if that was just the nature of the quick mission or if I was just completely not reading the interface correctly. So I'll call this one good right here. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks again.